Good morning traders and welcome to today's live trading. Today is the 21st of February and as usual we are on the FTSE 100. So let me run you through today's bands, support and resistance bands. You can see we are currently just testing a band around 7230. This band's quite interesting because it's got yesterday's high and close there. And I'll come back to this one in a second. We've got one above around 7250, another one not much further up around 7265, and then another one again not much further up just above 7280. We do have a couple below, one sort of 7210 and one I've not marked in down there at 7185. So they're quite close together today, maybe a little bit more than I usually have them, but that's just where price has shown me them to be, so there's not much I can do about that. All it means is we'll have potentially smaller targets, which means there might be more setups than usual that I have to just miss because the risk to reward isn't good enough on those trades to take them. But I guess we'll see how that unfolds anyway. But a particular trade I'm looking at this morning is one from this band I was talking about earlier. Excuse me. So as I said, we've got yesterday's high and close there. We've also got this 5-minute 200 moving average moving up into the band. We're 10 minutes to the open. So what I would like to see is, as sort of the market opens, I want price to come down, test all of these levels, probably more likely the close and this 200, and maybe give us like a buy pin bar, a bullish pin bar that I can look to trade up towards this band here. That would be ideal. Other than that, as always, it's just the usual plan, just watching how price interacts with these levels and going from there. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at. Like I say, 10 minutes to the market opens, so I guess I'll update you then. Right, so we're just coming up to quarter past 9. I'm actually going to put an order in here, buy order, above this pin bar, and I'll talk you through in a second. So it'll be in at 93.5, submit. Okay, so that order's in. So if that starts moving up now, we'll get triggered into a buy position. So my thinking behind this is what I call, or I like to take advantage of an early reversal. And the reason it qualifies as one of those is because we've had this big move down. The size of the candle is 6.5 points, and there's about 6.5, 7 points to the ATMA as it stands. So there's room for this trade to trigger, get up to the ATMA, then possibly react whilst in profit. And it just gives these kind of trades that extra bit of room. Now obviously if this doesn't trigger and it just starts coming down, we're not in the trade anyway. But if it does come up quite quickly, which happens quite a lot in these situations, then like I say, we're in that favourable situation where we've got this wiggle room for price to either react at this ATMA and then move past it, or react at this ATMA and then work its way back down, retest this band maybe and have another attempt, or if it is going to roll over, it's got like that extra 4 or 5 points that it's got to come back down and then go past the signal candle. So they tend to be pretty good setups. So target wise, we're going to be looking up towards, we don't in this situation have to target all the way up to the next band, but I probably won't be too far off, somewhere just above the 7200 level I would imagine. We'll just have to see how it moves. We've got no real, price hasn't given us any real level here to respect, so maybe we do target the band. But we have just been triggered there, so I'll bring the ticket up in a second. But yeah, this all seems to have set up pretty nicely, and it's difficult just not having a level. What I will probably use is the levels from here. So like I say, just above the 7200 level, we'll look to take profit if it does get up there. But yeah, we're in the trade. I will put the stop in as usual and bring the ticket across for you. Right, 10 to 10, we have finally hit that take profit level. It was 7203, I believe. Yep, you can see it there. So a good trade. It kind of did exactly what I said it was going to. In testing this ATMA first, reacting to it, and then going again. And like I said, the benefit with these early reversals is when you get this kind of price action, which you see all the time, particularly on the FTSE, and if you trade in the way that I trade, you know, I see this pattern nearly every day that I trade. So even when we're poking through the ATMA here, I'm still sort of expecting price to just react a little bit, which is what we got. But the benefit with these early reversals is we never really went into any negative profit and loss, maybe just. Because all of this reaction happened way above my entry. Now, usually, if I'm waiting, if price has trundled down here, maybe grinded down slowly, given us a buy signal, all that happens within, around your entry level. So you're forever, well, you're not forever, but for a long time, you're in and out of profit. Now, what's the significance of that? Well, if you are new to trading, I would say 99% of people that are new to trading are like this with their profit and loss. They just stare at it like mad. And you can say, no, don't do it. It's bad for you, whatever. And the trader probably knows that, but that doesn't stop them doing it. And it's such a toy with your emotions, because you can all of a sudden be really happy that you're in profit, and then it's disappeared, and now I'm losing money. I'm in profit again, and and it cycles like that, and that can be really tiring. Even if that only goes on for say half an hour, the trader can feel like an emotional wreck afterwards. So obviously the best thing to do would not be to watch your profit and loss, but that is the benefit of these sort of trades. If you can find trades like this, it's a workaround. If that's a real problem for you, if you have to watch your profit and loss, maybe taking trades whereby you're looking to get into some early profit quite quickly, and then the trade decides what it's doing, then maybe that would be a better option. Now, the trade that I've described there sounds perfect for all traders, but it's easier to talk about them than it is to find them. I've used this setup for a while, and I have to be honest, I don't see it that often. Maybe, I don't know, on a really good month you might see it 5 times. Say on a bad month you don't see it at all. You don't see it at all. So yeah, obviously it's easier said than done. We'd all like to go straight into profit, but that doesn't happen. But that's not to take away from the point. What I was trying to say was basically, if you do have a weakness and you've identified it, try to find workarounds. We're not all the same person. We're not robots. We each struggle with different things. And just because you struggle with a certain aspect of it doesn't make you a bad trader. You're a bad trader if you know about it and you don't work around it. You keep making the same mistakes and the same mistakes, then you're a bad trader. But if you've highlighted what your weaknesses are, you've got a plan to either fix them or work around them that works, then great. That's all you can do. So it looks like I've got, not lucky, but picked the top almost quite well there, because that's like the 3rd time we've reacted from this level. And actually something that I meant to show you this morning and never did, where has it gone, was the amount of news that we had out today. So you can see from 8 o'clock on the euro, the currency this is, so it does affect the FTSE somewhat, and so does the pound obviously, basically all morning. I mean, we've finished now till 12:30, but that's quite a lot of news out for the for the morning, which is maybe why we had this direct move and now this drop. So, but yeah, there's the video. There's the trade. I hope you did find it useful. I hope there was something you can take away from that. Like I say every week, if there's anything that you would like me to talk about in these videos, anything you'd want me to cover, any questions that you've got, or any specific video topics that you'd like me to look at, just let me know in the comments below. If you haven't done already, please consider subscribing. I do these most weeks where I can, where time allows, just to give you an insight really into what my trading days look like, and then hopefully you can either take some things away from that or just give you an insight. But yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.